Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Doujinshi, and welcome back to another episode of Hentai Reviews, the only series where, yeah, if you've noticed, no mask today. And if you're wondering why no mask, it's because I recently got a sinus infection, and that shit makes you cough a lot, and it makes you... I don't have a problem breathing. I am just a special level of... trying not to cough super loud, and when you cough, it fogs up the goggles. I didn't want to do that because that really just pisses me off a lot really quickly. So, plus, I think eyes are really emotive if you do this whole thing this way, and I don't know, maybe the voice will also come through a lot clearer, so I just wanted to make sure. That being said, let's go ahead and get into the review, because this episode I liked for a good reason, and sorry about the upload schedule. It's fucking weird. I'll admit that. It used to be like daily, now it's not. Like, not at all. So let's go ahead and get into this. Today we are going to be reviewing episode 4 of Interspecies Reviewers, a series that really just knows what it is and runs with it. Like, there's no subplot to this whole thing. There's no we're an action series actually, plus we have fan service. No, they know what they are, running with it. So today's episode starts out in a much grimmer way than it usually does. It starts out with the main characters naked and dead in an alleyway, which is usually not the way that this goes. Crim's the only one that's alive. It's 𝕳𝖊𝖓𝖙 and the Beast Dude that they usually hang out with from time to time. You see him in the intro all the time. And they're all dead in an alleyway, except for Crim. Crim's like, why, God, why? Alright, you know, doing that whole thing. Please come back to me. Like, dude, aren't you an angel? I'm pretty sure clerics all get healing abilities, but fine, you do your thing. That being said, then, like, freeze frame. You're probably wondering how I got into this mess. Let's rewind a bit. And then it essentially goes to the exact same group from before, like all four of them, the Beast Dude included, and Crim, all trying to, like, let's go see if we can find a new place. What's that one over there that says really cheap? They end up walking out the back alleys. They turn the wrong corner. They took a wrong turn in Albuquerque, and now they're in the weird part of town. Not the bad part, just the weird part. It essentially just says 500 gold, unlimited time, unlimited access, just anything, unlimited number of people. You see, that's a little strange because 500 gold apparently isn't worth a lot in this whole thing. So they go down there, they try to investigate, and they find a, essentially, fish tank full of low-level succubi. And if you don't know, low-level succubi are horny a lot. And they're kind of just ready to go. They would have done their whole services for free, but when you offer free sex, you really just don't attract a lot of people because, hey, I'm gonna download this free program. Sure hope there's no bugs included. Oh, wait. So, they're essentially thinking, like, do we do this? And Crim's over there like, I'm not doing that. I'm Audi 5000. This is not my shtick. Angel? Ton of demons. I don't know if you guys know how this works, but the last time angels and demons hooked up together, they did, not the greatest. Pretty sure they made DMC, Devil May Cry. You know, the reboot done by Ninja Theory. Still pissed about that. Now, Stunk, being the dick-first adventurer that he is, essentially just says, Zell, you're an elf. Hit me with the buff spells. All of them. And he buffs himself, Stunk, and the Beast Dude. And they ram themselves dick-first into the fish tank. And they go for a while, which leads into scene number 1. Scene number 1 starts at, I believe, 9 minutes and 10 seconds, and then goes all the way to 9 minutes and 40 No, not 40. 9 minutes and 50. If I'm wrong, I'll be placing the timestamps themselves in the next pit right here. Okay. Now afterwards, they essentially are saved when a new group comes in. Essentially a horde of orc dudes who are like, we're here to see if we can beat this. This is our second go. It's like some dude returning to a restaurant they lost the house special challenge at, and they're like, I'm gonna eat that steak, but I'm gonna do it in under 5 minutes. And then they just rush in, they throw those guys out before they are drained of everything. They all rate it pretty low, and then they just decide, you know what? Fuck it. I am gonna take a week off, and they do. Which leads into the secondary portion of the episode. Secondary portion of the episode, I think I like a little bit more, is essentially Krim in the top part of the bar that they stay at, and, works there, gets certain things, goes on quests, whatever, is talked to by, I believe, the Dryad cook of the whole thing, which is weird, since if you are a wood spirit and you work with fire, isn't that, like, counterintuitive? I don't know, do your own job, do what you like. Even if it is a fire hazard. And essentially, she just says, hey, can you run to this area, like, way out? It's far off. I really need you to get this. They're fire crystals, which help cook the food. If you get all of these, then I'll pay you back. I'll pay for everything. Krim, being the nice person that he is, says, sure, let me go get these adventurers that I know. You know, the elf and the human, who both are huge perverts, who both only do nothing but sleep with things. Let's make them go fight stuff. And they do. They head straight out into the Badlands of where volcanic activity is aplenty. And then they immediately get attacked by an exploding volcano that leaps all the creatures, that causes a whole bunch of creatures to leap out and land on each other and then form a Gundam out of their smoldering bodies. Literal Gundam. Like, it has all the angles and everything that's going on to it. They form together like the fucking star dudes in, like, Digimon Fusion or whatever that was. And then Stunk is just like, hey man, I got this. And then goes up, one taps the son of a bitch, and then just rolls out like it's nothing. And after that, Krim's like, what the hell was that? And he just zells off to the side. You know, he actually is a really good adventurer. Like, that's what he was done for. He was trained a lot by his dad when he used to live with him with all the money that they had. And Stunk just brushes it all off because he's not really willing to talk about it. Which I kind of like. They're restrictive on his backstory, and they understand that this is a character that does something way different than he thought he was going to be doing, has fun with it, and doesn't plan on going back to what he does. He's very just in the moment, and he likes it. And he doesn't want to talk about what he no longer likes doing. And that's, I don't know, I just really like that in the character. Now, that being said, they end up walking all the way to where they need to go, which is essentially a town built inside of an active volcano. That being said, they are all filled with nothing but fire spirits, you know, your wandering half-dragons, your fire elementals, and, you know, the best thing about this whole thing, entrepreneurial salamander girls who are willing to have a barbecue on their abs, boobs, butt, and pretty much anything that you can fit meat inside of. Yes, this is going where you think it's going. As they decide to go in, they just decide, hey, let's have a hibachi on this lady over here. And they get to cooking. And I'm not going to count a lot of this as a scene because I don't particularly say it. I feel like if she was the one grabbing onto certain things, then this would count as a scene. But this is too, like, there's too many separation layers between this for me to count it. So I'm not. And then it just moves forward. They kind of just sit there and have their own little barbecue with everything that's going. You know, the typical, like, sexy girl with food on her. So, you know, let's put meat on her nipples and then watch it cook and then peel it off and like, oh, it's in the shape. They're like, oh, what's this? Where did I cook this in? And then he picks up a strip of meat that was in, you know, this shape. And naturally, they all make their little dumb jokes, and then they just say, hey, can you do me a favor and cook this sausage? And then sticks it in her mouth. And then another one just says, can you cook this sausage as well? And then sticks it where the sun doesn't shine, as it immediately switches over to less lewd video of 𝕳𝖊𝖓𝖙 doing her bathing. 𝕳𝖊𝖓𝖏 being the bird girl who manages the the bar while everybody else is gone. They switched to a naked girl taking a bath to be less lewd than what is going on right here. And I think this was a good strategical plan, because if it had gone on any longer, this would be a scene, and this would be a pretty long one, with a lot of different numbers, because we're approaching the 20-minute mark in the actual episode itself. And fuck, I don't like reciting 4-digit numbers twice, especially in this. So, after getting the way that they do, the salamander girl, who's probably the best girl in the episode, she's in the top 3 of the entire series, but as she gets a little bit more worked up with the food that she's given, all the other people are sweating and dying in there, except for Krim, who, because of angel powers, pretty sure angels don't really have fire immunity unless you're, like 𝕳𝖊𝖓𝖙, and that's because you're part demon at that point. But they have fire immunity for some reason, and the salamander girl says, "Hey, wanna take this back for a special cook?" And the other two say, "We're gonna die if we keep doing this." And she's like, "But what about him?" And points out to Krim, and then, it cuts to a little bit of a scene. That being scene number 2. Scene number 2 starts at, I believe, 20 minutes and 40 seconds, and then goes all the way to 22 minutes and 20 seconds. Another 40-second one, not very long, but fuck, I love this girl. The way that Krim very much describes her highly, like 9 out of 10, because first off, really forward, really good with everything that she's doing, really controlling. Judge me if you want. That's a bonus. And also, smells like steak, like cooked steak. Like, it smells, like, imagine you're going at it with a girl, and then she starts sweating, and then you try to be sexy and do the whole, like, lick up the neck thing, and it's just, like, it is just Kobe beef. Or, like, oh my god, that sounds like heaven on earth. There's 2 things in this world I love. Undoubtedly. Number 1 is good food. Number 2 isn't sex. That's like 3rd or 4th. Number 2 is good movies. So there's food and then, like, also sex down there in the lesser of the 5s. You thought I was going to say sex for number 2. You're wrong. Don't ever try to anticipate me. After rating her highly, they essentially, all the other 2 were just essentially like waiting outside for him to finish because they couldn't stand the heat. They couldn't take the heat, so they got out of the kitchen. I don't watch Hell's Kitchen. I just want to let you know that as we're doing this joke. But after that, it essentially fades into the epic ending music. I forgot to mention that the opening music is awesome as well. Did I mention that the opening music is awesome? Did I mention if I hit 250 subs, I will do an English rendition of the song? It's not going to be good, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to sing that bitch to the rhythm, because I like to make promises for myself that I'll definitely keep. Isn't that right? Consistent schedule. That being said, it's into episode 4. I like this episode a lot because hot girls, salamander girls, crazy demon girls, funny jokes throughout the entire thing, and good food. Anime's good at a lot of different things. Making hot people and making good looking food. I have 3 volumes of Food Wars over there, and if I ever get hungry, I burn those books because I don't need to look at them. But when I'm not hungry, I look at them and then I get hungry again. And that's why I have this luscious figure that you can see as of late. So, yeah. Nothing I can really say. I'm definitely going to continue doing this review series for this because, we're like, I'm pretty sure we're like quarter of the way through, or we're a third of the way through now, and damn, there's more to cover. But yeah, that's it. If you have any comments about any of this, let me know in the bottom. Any series you think I should cover? I'm pretty much finished the ones that people had been leaving me in the description. If I have any more that I can think of, I'll definitely try looking through some more. And if anybody has stuck around this far, thank you everybody for being here. Last I checked, I'm at 160 subscribers, and my view count is through the fucking roof. I used to get excited when I would get 50 views on one video. Now the lowest I've gotten in the past month or so is that spontaneous video where I just stand on a chair and talk about Rule 34 badly. That's awesome. Wait, 12 is my lowest, but my highest is almost reaching 1,000. Thank you everybody for everything that you've done. If I get big, you damn well know that I'm gonna remember this. Thank you everybody, and God bless each and every one of you. No mask. The country living kind of comes out, apparently. So I guess I'm gonna see if I can end it right there. Thank you everybody for being here. This has been a wonderful experience, and I love the fact that I get to do this. So remember, have a nice day, don't be a dick, there's too many of them, and wash your fucking hands. I've been the Doctor. Peace.